Hey, Rainbow here, and you are looking at the 2022 Trident 660 by Triumph. The Triumph Trident. TT is a good way to put it. I guess this bike is pretty cool. It has a liquid-cooled 12-valve inline 3-cylinder 660, just like the name. It is a true 660 cc's. This bike will set you back a cool $8,395 in the United States, and it has about 80 brake horsepower at 10,250 RPM. Pretty darn good if you ask me. As far as torque is concerned, there's about 47 pound-feet of torque, and that is on this engine at 6,250. On the exhaust, you are looking at a 3-to-1 stainless steel header that's coming to the back over here. We can probably get a better view of that from here. There's that 3-to-1 down in there, and it does have a 6-speed gearbox. Now, nothing fancy. It is a tubular steel frame. It does also have a steel swing arm, so again, nothing fancy there. As far as the wheels are concerned, 17-inch front and rear, so pretty standard, so which means you have a lot of options for tires with this bike. It's a 120/70 on the front, and on the rear you are looking at a 180/55. As far as the seat height, right here, you are looking at exactly, you ready for this? 31.7 inches, so it's pretty good. It's a relatively small bike. It's about 805 millimeters in height. Gas tank, it'll hold 3.7 United States gallons, which is the equivalent of about 14 liters with the rest of the world, which is how we should be. And I know I keep hammering on that, but it's the truth. I don't know why we're not doing the metric thing. Anyway, wet, 416.7 pounds wet, and that equals to about 189 kilograms. Again, really solid bike, really nice. I kind of like this bike. On the front, we have some Showa. I know that because it says so right there. We have some Showa 41 millimeter upside down forks, and in the rear back here, if we can see it, nothing fancy, but it is a Showa monoshock for sure. As far as the brakes, let's do the back of the brakes while I'm here. The little Nissan, and this is a single piston in the back and a single side with 255 millimeter on the caliper. When you go to the front, it does have dual brakes in the front. Again, Nissan, and these are dual pistons with 310 millimeter calipers. Okay, the TFT is color. It's pretty basic, pretty straightforward, nothing really fancy with it. And this bike, they claim that you're going to get about 51 miles to the gallon, or the equivalent of 4.6 liters is going to cost you per 100 kilometers. There are only 2 modes. You really only need 2 modes in here, probably only 1, but 2 if it makes you feel comfortable. There is road and rain. This does not have any kind of a sport mode. It's just road and rain, and I did say that this was liquid cooled, okay? And it does have all LED lights, and the bike does come with traction control, which you could switch off if you choose. But most importantly, as usual, let's take it for a ride and let's see how this bike feels and how it performs. Again, it's a nice, cute little bike. Let's take it on the road. Okay, time to swing a leg over this and turn it on. Put the kickstand up, and with all Triumphs, you must engage the clutch before you are allowed to start up the bike. Then you can let it out. Okay. Don't know why the main menu is there. Okay, but we are on road all the way across. Display looks pretty good, pretty basic bike. Let's take her for a spin. First of all, it's a 333. When I kind of really like the smoothness of a 333, and I also like the sound
of a 333. Now this is a 2022, but it is a used bike. So I think that this is a fantastic commuting bike. I think it's really nice. It's small, it's nimble, it's easy to ride. Looks like my left-handers are really smooth. I'm going to turn it around and go the other direction here on this circular road. Very good delivery. The seating position is actually pretty darn comfortable. It's nothing that you're going to be taking on a highway for long periods of time because, of course, there is zero wind protection on this. What I do know is that this is a very nimble, comfortable, and very capable bike. Alright, let's spin it around and try it in the other direction. Yeah, a very comfortable seating. I have to give it props on the seating. Let's take it down this. Come on, second gear. There we go. Linear power delivery. I have to give this thing props. You know, it's hard to believe you're on a 660. I mean, you know, you're not on a big liter bike, you know, for sure, but it does feel pretty darn good. We'll do one more lap because of this guy. It's gonna ruin my left-hand turn to get out of here. Really, really comfortable, very nimble, very easy to ride. This does come with the ability to put a quick shifter on it. This particular bike does not have a quick shifter on it. This bike has less than 1,000 miles. And I have to put this out there. Pretty please listen to me on this one. Ian from Two Wheels World, otherwise known as Ducati Forza, Triumph of Fort Lauderdale, whatever you want to call it. Ian is my salesman, and he's the one who hooks me up with really all of these bikes. He truly has been really good to me, and I really appreciate, don't bump the knee. I really appreciate everything he's done, to be quite honest. And he is a really solid guy, and he's a motorcyclist. He knows his motorcycles, he knows about riding. He is a really good guy. So when you're in the Fort Lauderdale area, in Pompano Beach, you're looking for a Ducati, even if you're out of state and you want a good deal, just give Ian a call, tell him I sent you, and he'll be happy to hook you up. Wow, this is a nice, fun bike. Now, I do have a new helmet because the other one was way too loud, and this is a Shoei RF 1400, and I will tell you it is significantly quieter than the AGV K6, but I'm not here to talk about that today. Let's just talk about how nimble and how good this bike feels. Small, narrow handlebars. You can probably get it in and out of your house if you needed to put it somewhere and hide it from your wife. This would be a great thing to do. Well, I missed my opportunity to do emergency braking. I should have done my emergency braking on that one to see how it felt. But easily flat-footed. To remind everyone, I am 5'11½", or I used to be, as I always say. I have a 32-inch inseam, and this bike seems to fit me rather well. This is a really nice, comfortable bike for a commuter. I do have to tell you, now being such a small, short bike, you almost feel like you're in front of the bike. Until you look down, you just kind of think you're floating in the air. It's one of those bikes, but extremely comfortable. I will say that with the pegs and the handlebars, that there is a slight forward lean on this, an ever so slight forward lean, but that's also going to depend on the length of your arms, and of course, like everything, the handlebars are adjustable. Certainly a lot of fun on this bike. I'm going to keep using the word commuter on this because this is really what it feels like. This is the kind of bike that I want to go to work on, and I wouldn't mind traffic as much with this bike. You're getting a nice amount of wind to keep you cool in the summer. In the winter time, well, you know, that's something you have to figure out. Let's do a... Ooh, yeah, good stopping. I think the ABS kicked in on that one. I was hitting both front and rear brakes, but it felt pretty good. And we shall return after this. check the rear ABS. A little chirp there. All right, let's get it on the highway. I find the clutch a little difficult because it has to be adjusted out for me, because I only use 2 fingers. And let's get some acceleration going here to get up to speed. Woo! To get on the highway. Ah, come on. Well, that bump didn't feel good. Oh, come on. 2 of you? You're killing me here, guys. So you do have to crouch. Oh, come on, man. You're killing me. Alright, that's enough. Seems like I'm just going to be running into vehicle after vehicle after vehicle here. So when you crouch down, you actually feel pretty decent here when you're doing the higher speeds. Above 80, you know, over 100. It feels pretty good. The bike certainly feels very stable and very solid. That's one of the things that I certainly like about this bike, is it feels really good. Time to downshift here a little bit. Love the sound of that 333. Anybody behind me? Nope, I'll take the open lane. So what do you think of this bike? Did you ever ride one? Do you have one? Do you like it? This Trident is really fun, and I think the price point is pretty darn good from Triumph. This is a great commuter bike. Again, I wouldn't take it on really long trips unless you had some wind protection, but it seems to really handle itself and be extremely stable when you get up on the highways, and I mean the big freeways. It seems to hold its own rather well. Let's do another emergency stopping. Oh, little chirping going on there, but the ABS, I believe, kicked in on that, and I was giving it a lot more rear brake that time. Okay, time for the railroad tracks test at 55, let's go between 50 and 55 miles an hour. And wow, impressive. Holy schmoly, that was impressive. I cannot complain about that at all. Wow, that was actually nice. I was bracing myself too, because I was like, oh no, I'm gonna hit this and it's gonna jar my spine, because I did hit a bump earlier and I was like, ooh, that didn't feel good. But yeah, nice, very smooth. Really happy with that. Okay, so what are my overall impressions of this bike, if anyone cares? Well, it's fun. I've used that word to describe a lot of bikes, but in this case it really is true. To me, this is a fantastic beginner bike. It's an absolutely fantastic commuter bike. It's really very smooth. You really have to love the sound of the 333, the power delivery of the 333, and of course, in my opinion, the linear delivery of power in this 333. I am very much a fan of this bike, and I am enjoying it, especially for the price point. This would absolutely be a great bike to have, to beat around, to commute with, so that you don't have to put a lot of miles on, let's say, a Ducati Multistrada V4S that you are taking to work every day, which is, again, itself a lot of fun, but also very limiting because of its size. And who wants to put a bunch of miles on a bike like that just commuting to work in traffic? It's just too big, bulky, and hot for that. Where this bike, man, it is just fun, smooth, nimble, and it can get you around wherever you need to be. This is a great bike. Well, that's about it. Again, I really need to thank Two Wheels World, Triumph Motorcycles here in Pompano Beach, specifically Ian, my guy Ian. He is absolutely a stand-up guy, great salesman, and he's really, to me, more like a friend. So Anyway, this is Rainbow. Please like, please subscribe. I hope you like this. Thank you again, Ian from Ducati and Triumph of Pompano Beach. Thank you guys, and have yourself a great day.